When I first started smoking cigars, I had a lot of questions on how to smoke, when to smoke, what should I smoke, what's good for me. But the biggest thing that people don't understand is it's a lot of them. And it's not about what somebody else likes, it's what you like. This is the El Satimo right here. It's royalty, it's purple, it's gold. It's got an opportunity to be a very high-end cigar. Just like my guest right here. Dino.
What's that, Mr.
Appreciate you having us here, man. We're going to talk
buddy.
business. We're going to talk black business. We're going to make sure that everybody understands how to smoke, when to smoke, what to drink, all that other stuff, man. Let's do it. Welcome to the Humidor.
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars, run a corner store like the welcome you to the Humidor.
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars, run a corner store like the welcome you to the Humidor, right?
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars, run a corner store like the welcome you to the Humidor.
I can do this easy with a blindfold. My cigar look like a pine cone. Sitting back on my iPhone, smoking out in my time zone. Got the Patron and I'm ready to smoke. Patakas in action, I'm doing the most. Before the minute, I feel like the GOAT. Dwarf for one day, I'm back in the boat. Watching the Humidor, that is the show. Walking my later, I'm ready to blow. Grabbing my coat and I'm ready to go. Look at my diamond crown, I got the glow. I'm giving them wisdom, I'm giving them knowledge. Give me a minute, I'll open my wallet. Cut the cigar and I smoke like a challenge. You watching the Humidor, what's that just symbolic?
We don't smoke cigars, run a corner store like the welcome you to the Humidor.
The lights don't get brighter in Las Vegas, Nevada. I mean, really bright. We are in Chocolate City right now, home of El Satimo. Now, I know it's skyrocketing, but I brought the general manager in here, also the vice president of the Black Agenda.
The Black Agenda is a consortium of local leaders and influencers, politicians, billionaires, you know what I'm saying, that's dedicated to bringing economical inclusion and growth to the Black community. You know, so we're spearheading that to let folks know that we're here. We're no longer talking. You know what I'm saying? We talked for a long time. Matter of fact, our ancestors talked. That's why we give praise and reverence to Marcus Garvey's, Martin Luther King's, Malcolm X, Jesse Jackson, Ron Brown's, Al Sharpton's, you know what I'm saying, for all the work that these guys put in, for us to be in a place to be a bold and stand unapologetically and say, you know what, it's time to be black and it's all right.
And you talked about your ancestors. Let's take it back.
Yeah.
Born and raised, New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that experience right
you
there.
heard me?
Yeah,
wow.
man. Yeah, let's talk about that. How was it growing up in there?
Man, look, it was a blessing. New Orleans, I tell folks, it's a different planet. It's Mars. Not only that, I call it a third world country right within the United States.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Reason being is it's a small land. It's surrounded by water. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi River, Pontchartrain Beach, Gulf of Mexico. That's why it's such an economic port hub, you know what I'm saying, of culture also. But the main part about it is it's the Big Easy. And the reason why they call it the Big Easy is because even though tourism is our main economic benefit there, you know what I'm saying? So there's really was nothing there, no big buildings or anything like corporate America. It was just tourism. So what you do is, I didn't meet any poor people in New Orleans. Ever since I came out the womb, I didn't learn how to beg, you know what I'm saying? I learned how to ask to do a duty so I can get what I needed done, you know? So, and my culture in New Orleans instilled that in me and instilled in people to this day. I mean, that's why, other than Las Vegas, it's the second most tour city in the United States. You know what I'm saying? You got Vegas and you got New Orleans. That's because of the people, man.
As a kid, you know, growing up in New Orleans, you got, I mean, not only the entertainment side, the food side, the culture side, the heritage. What are the influences that you saw as a kid growing up in New Orleans?
Grinding.
Grinding.
Don't ask nobody for nothing that you can get yourself. That's the culture I came up under. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about later and what happened with the crack epidemic came in and it blurred all that, and we just took those skills and brought it to something else that was 10x and the money. But you know what I'm saying? When you talk about New Orleans, everybody has something to do. Everybody has something to do. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know you're part of the family. If you're a part of somebody's tribe, you know what I'm saying, and you're sitting around and you're not doing anything, then you're not really part of that tribe.
Wow. Talking about family, you have the food.
Oh my goodness.
You know, give me some New Orleans food, or is it New Orleans or New Orleans, or you know?
I don't know. Whatever I say out my mouth, you know what I'm saying. You take the pronunciation. I think I'm saying New Orleans. You know what I'm saying. Most folks say New Orleans, you know what I'm saying. But born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. So Yeah, no, listen.
Give me that New Orleans meal, that New Orleans meal that you like, man, I gotta have.
It's even deeper than that, though. You know what I'm saying? Even talking about men out the South, and a lot of folks don't understand this, but when you talk about New Orleans, most of the cooks that come out of New Orleans are not women; they're men.
Yeah.
Most of the people that cook out in New Orleans, the best cooks, I love my grandmother cooking and all this other stuff, but the best cooks are men. You know, and that's part of our culture, because what we did was we used cooking as a sport.
No, do you dabble in the sport of cooking?
Oh, of course. I mean, if you're a real man in New Orleans, you gotta know how to cook. That's how we know if you're a real man. You know what I'm saying? You got, even if it's, you know what I'm saying, you know how to open up some blue runners and rice, you still gotta know how to light the stove.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's a sport. You know what I'm saying? So in doing that, that's why the food tastes so good, because not only is we using it as competition, but there's an aspect of love there, because we want you to love what we're doing. That's New Orleans,
keep
man.
on that with that whole melting pot of cultures and people and races all mixed together, working as one.
Yes,
that's something that you guys are really focusing on business-wise, to try to keep that nucleus. Talk about that.
That's correct. Like I said, that's part of, like I said, the main part of the Black agenda. You know what I'm saying? Black, we don't feel like, Black is not unpowerful. It's just unorganized.
Wow. Say that again for the people in the back.
You know what I'm saying? Black is not unpowerful. We're the most powerful beings on the planet. We're just unorganized.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just like coming from a basketball team. You know what I'm saying? You can have all the greatest talent on the team.
Yes, sir.
But if it's unorganized, they ain't got no structure, no order, you ain't winning nothing. That's the macro, but we're doing the micro every day. Let's just take the micro and continue doing the micro. Like I tell a lot of my mentees, what's the first way you do that, D? I say the first thing you do, you got to understand that you live in moments. We live for moments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, it's the moments that we don't take advantage of, and relationships get distorted. Man, could you did that for me? You know what I'm saying? It would took 5 minutes, but you had 50 more 5-minute moments, you know what I'm saying, trying not to do that moment.
Yeah.
So I tell folks all the time, man, live for the moments that has a positive effect on other person's life.
Grassroots from there, and then you migrated. Where did you migrate after that?
Alabama was my next stop. You know what I'm saying? Which is which was I love Alabama. You know what I'm saying? And this, everything that I say in my life, I recognize, you know what I'm saying, that this is a God mission. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way that I can say it. I jumped off the porch at 13, said I can get this done. Why? Because of G.O.D. God, guider of direction. That thought process told me, okay, this is what you can do. Or you're going to follow my directions to get there. Yeah. That's the thing about it. And I'm talking all this stuff, but really, this is everything that I've learned living and growing in New Orleans. Wow. You got to be spiritually attached to everything. We ain't unpowerful, man. We're the most powerful being. We are unorganized. So what we do is we take all those moments, things that we think are insignificant, you know what I'm saying, take those moments and execute on those moments, because you know this is something, if I didn't ask you to do something, I didn't think that you could do it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I could have called 100 freaking people, but if I say, you know what, boom, I'm calling Cedric Sabalas first, because I got full confidence that whatever I need done, Ced could do it, and not only can he do it in a moment.
Gotcha. I got you.
Take you 30 seconds, hung up the phone, and you just changed somebody's life forever.
This wonderful thing, these sticks, man, are just beautiful. Now that you have portrayed a wonderful business here with that. Talk about your first experience in smoking cigars. Man.
Oh, man. Really smoking a cigar? First time I smoked a cigar, like all of us, we don't know. And that's why I got into this culture. God told me I got into this culture. Because just think about it. People love two things that people love the most. Just being a human being. There's two things that you want. You want love to be shown to you, and you want to be acknowledged. That's the truth. I don't give a doggone what anybody, how bad they are, how good they are. You want to get straight to the point and get to somebody's heart, find a way to love them, acknowledge them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So in saying that, most of the time we acknowledge people, it's a celebrative event, right? Yes. So let's just think about it. Saying you being an ex-ball player, high-level ball player, you know what I'm saying? Anytime that you wanted to celebrate, you know what I'm saying, your hands weren't free.
Something was in it.
Something was in it.
Yeah.
You either had a drink in one hand, and what was in the other hand? A cigar. Yeah, so no matter if it was a baby being born, you know what I'm saying, you win in the lottery, you buy your first car, this is what you said, I'm going to express my success with a drink and a cigar.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, the champions that I saw as a kid, you know, I obviously started with Red Auerbach. He started smoking after they won a championship in Boston. right then and there,
Right.
on the bench.
On the bench.
Even though
Red
there was no
was
smoking in the
gangster.
building, he's so gangster with
He
it.
was gangster.
I'm going for it.
Right.
And then obviously Michael Jordan moved it on, and then
Yeah.
it just kept going with
Yeah.
that. My first experience with cigars, I had an uncle, my Uncle Smitty, always smoked a cigar around the house, coming home from work. I always was curious about it, and intrigued about it, and which a lot of people out there are. Give me some do's and don'ts about smoking, man.
I tell you this, going back to that, because on that note, I smoked cigars a long time before I really learned about cigar culture. It was my Cuban brother. His name is Luis Ruiz. I met him in my journey going through California. Thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? And I remember the first time we talked. I ain't gonna go through the whole story, but he was like, "You ever smoke Cuban cigars?" You know, you got this Cuban. Like, nah. At that point in time, I thought I did smoke a Cuban. So I'm like, Cuban's overrated, man. I don't really care nothing about that. He said, "Well, the next time I see you, I got a cigar for you." You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. I remember the first cigar he bought me was a Triple T Trinidad. You know what I'm saying?
Triple T Trinidad.
Yeah, Triple T Trinidad from the W.D.D.A. You know what I'm saying? I lit the cigar up, said, you know what I'm saying? Which was rule number one. You find out you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? He and people culture know if you're a trender or if you're culture folks. So he let me light the cigar up. So I lit this joker up. I'm talking about from the light. I'm like, I'm inhaling. I'm like, oh my God. What is this?
It's hidden.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then the aroma at the same time, and like I'm tasting the smoke, I'm smelling. So I take the cigar out my mouth and I go to him and say, Louise, he like, just smoke. I'm about 30 minutes in, said, I'm in love. And the thing about, you know what cigars do? They make you want to talk.
You want to talk. That's the great thing about it.
They make you want to talk.
Yes,
so
sir.
30 minutes in, because before the door is, you know what I'm saying, it's a small stick, you know what I'm saying, it's about 6 inches.
Okay.
And I take the cigar out again. I'm like, man, such and such. Shh. Just smoke. So I finished, we didn't talk for an hour.
Wow.
1 hour, we didn't say one word except when I was trying to make the conversation. Only thing he told me was, shh, just smoke.
Just enjoying the stick.
After I finished that cigar, put it out, he said, what you say about Cubans now? I said, I'll never make that statement ever again.
Wow.
So not only that, but that was my first real experience. It was over 15 years ago of having a real cigar experience, being taught by somebody that knew about cigars. And like I said, the same thing, people find out if they like you or not. And from there, the Ruiz family, you know what I'm saying, they took me in. And not only they took me in, it was a situation, because they always used to have cigars, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, can I bring my buddy? They're like, nah, just come over here. This is their their economy.
Yes.
Cigars and rum. There is nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So now, taking this culture serious to them is serious.
Yeah.
So I seen that as love, as them not just giving me cigars and let me go out. They cultivated our relationship on it. It was a 3-year journey that they taught me cigars. It got to the point where we would play a game and they have cigars on the table. And you had to smoke the cigar, no label, but you had to tell them what the cigar was.
Wow.
This is how I learned cigars.
Wow. So somebody's coming into your establishment now and aversions to the opportunity to smoke them. How would you suggest them to get involved or their first experience with cigars?
You want me to tell the business answer or the love answer?
The love answer, because that's how, love gonna bring the business.
Right.
The business gonna bring the love. So let's bring the love in first.
This one thing, when you find out about the culture, being in the cigar culture, serious in the cigar culture, it's about 10 years ago, it started taking off, especially with us, you know what I'm saying, our ethnicity. And, we're entertainers, you know what I'm saying? And it's all about the gram, you know what I'm saying? It's all about the shot. So what started happening is you started getting more trenders than culture smokers, you know what I'm saying? People not really smoking tobacco because they want to smoke tobacco. They were smoking labels.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
Cohibas.
yeah,
I understand.
So it's just like going to the gym or playing basketball, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can go in there and pick up 250 pounds, but if you don't have the right technique, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to do anything. It's the same thing with cigars, because the cigar experience is a 3-part formula: your nose, your tongue, and your mind.
Okay.
That's what this experience is for. Nothing else. Your nose, your tongue, and your mind. So not to get too far off, if somebody really wants to find out how to correctly smoke a cigar to get the right effect off of it, most of the time, like I said, if we know that it's about nose, tongue, mind, I want people that got to smell good to them. Then they got to taste good to them. You know what I'm saying? So when the smoke do hit them, they can still have a nice nicotine conversation.
Yes.
So you ain't gonna do that with something that's harsh. So that's why we have our sweet wall. You know what I'm saying? Our infused wall. Learn the technique of smoking, because you're gonna mess up.
Yeah.
But if you mess up, you know what I'm saying, at least with an infused, you know what I'm saying, it tastes like chocolate, it tastes like honey, and you won't give up on the culture.
That's right.
So that's what I would do for somebody that's brand new.
Yeah, and those experienced smokers, you know, they tend not to dabble out or try to run from their particular brand or style.
Which is awesome. That's what you're supposed to do. Remember, this is your experience. I tell folks all the time, man, being in a cigar, this is for you.
Yeah.
I like Popeye's chicken. I know you like Popeye's chicken, right? You know what I'm saying? I use Popeye's. I use things I love. You know what I'm saying?
No,
we got the same palate. We could both order 2-piece white spicy red beans and rice and a biscuit. But you know, because our tongues are different, we're gonna have different experiences,
Yes,
but we
sir.
eat the same chicken.
Yes, sir.
So are we gonna argue about, okay, man, well, I taste this on the chicken. You taste what you taste.
Yeah.
That's why I tell folks with cigars, you know what I'm
So
saying?
you shouldn't give up. Like, even if you had a bad experience with a cigar, that might have been that time,
You got to
that
find
communication,
your stick.
that conversation,
All that.
didn't put the right move. But you got to find your
Man,
spot.
it can get as deep as the cologne you wear.
Wow. That influences
Yes,
what you
sir.
do. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's
Because
huge.
most folks, they like I said, they like to pair it with alcohol. I don't drink. I don't smoke cigars with alcohol.
Yeah.
I smoke with water. Why? Because I want to taste the smoke.
I want to say
And I don't want it blended. I don't want a gumbo. Usually when I have alcohol, I'm coating my tongue with sugar, you know what I'm saying? Because I want the smoke to blend whatever the taste is on my sugar. But if you're smoking fine tobacco, it's just like going to Root Chris or going to Scissors. You go to Scissors, yeah, give me A1. But if you go to Root Chris, you know what I'm saying? Nah, don't put no sauce on that stuff.
Yeah, put that in perspective. Put that in perspective too. The cognacs, the bourbons, the alcohol that comes along with some people who like to dibble dabble in the cigars. Is that an enhancer? Is sometimes it's a take away from actually, but it also depends on the person.
Depends on the person.
Depends on the person.
Yeah, if you're a cigar is supposed to enhance. Remember, it's celebratory.
Yeah.
It's supposed to enhance anything. So if you're drinking, you know what I'm saying, you smoke a cigar behind, the cigar is just supposed to enhance whatever you were doing. Not, okay, man, but so what you're doing is, you know what the ingredients are. That's why we say mild, medium, full body. That's just the blanket of it. But we know one thing, whenever you drinking alcohol, you know what I'm saying, your palate is getting coated with sugar.
Yeah.
It's just how much sugar, how thick the sugar is on your tongue so the smoke can penetrate through.
Not a lot of instruction there, but it's also a lot of knowledge there. So
Yeah.
we'll be right back. We're going to get into the business of cigars. when
Yes,
we come
sir.
back. It's the Humidor. The technique. You talked earlier when we were in the bar area about how to smoke. Give us some instruction on how to smoke. Now, does that vary person to person?
No.
No.
This is the structure and order and the bylaws of how to smoke fine tobacco correctly. You know what I'm saying? So, like I was saying earlier, everything has a structure and order. You know what I'm saying? When people wine taste, you know what I'm saying? When you go and you do anything with your body. So the same thing with cigars. But the formula with cigars is 3 parts: your nose, your tongue, and your mind. And in that order. Nose, tongue, mind.
Right.
Talk about why nose first? Because getting straight to a point, you know what I'm saying? We ain't putting nothing in our mouth that don't smell good.
One of your first
So
senses,
so when you actually first toasting that cigar and going around, you know what I'm saying, what you're doing is you're burning the foot, which is the exposed tobacco, but it's also you're getting into the meat of the tobacco and what starts to produce smoke. And when smoke comes, not only you see it, you smell it.
Yes.
And if a cigar smells good, and I know you didn't have the experience that, if you started lighting a cigar and it didn't smell good, did you continue smoking it? What you want to do is the next thing is put it in your mouth. Why is that important? Because this is where most of the experience is taking place. What you talking about? The tip of your tongue. That's where the sweetness of the smoke comes from. You know what I'm saying? That's why there? Because that's what the sweet sense is. If I put sugar in your hand, you know what I'm saying, I tell you taste the sugar, you ain't gonna lick the sugar, you're gonna tip it with the tip of your tongue, because that's the biggest piece of your tongue that's stimulated by that act.
Right.
So it's the same thing with anything, food, smoke, everything. The top of your tongue is where your butters and your toffees are. You know what I'm saying? That salted taste that you be tasting. You know what I'm saying? The size of your tongue is leather and the woodsy taste comes in.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So now when you're puffing that cigar, that's why you see us go in and out. Because what we're doing is we're not inhaling. We're trying to gather as much smoke on our tongue, on every piece of that palate, because we're making a smoke gumbo. You know what I'm saying?
And as you described that, I can even taste right now. It's like, yeah, that's what that whole enjoyment and that celebration is.
It's experience. It got to be good.
Yeah.
Everything about it has to be good. When you're smelling it, when you're smoking it, and let's get to the mind. What it makes you think about. The great part. That's what I love about the whole thing. So after you figure out, you know what I'm saying, what the taste of the cigar is from the way that you smoke it correctly, take your cigar out your mouth, how it smells. That's another thing. After you take your cigar out your mouth, the cigar should be in your non-dominant hand because you want that cigar smoke to be somewhere close to you so you can still smell it. Because if you're talking, what happens with your dominant hand when you're talking? So the smoke ain't going. But if it's in your non-dominant hand, you can still talk. You still experience it.
Yeah, setting it up just right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just right.
Yes,
the
sir.
business side of it has obviously taken off because of the phenomenon with social media and everybody posting. The business side of it, speak a little bit on the business side on how far it's going and where it can go.
Number one, like I said, give reverence back to my mentors and Roy's family also. And somebody recognizing something in you that you don't recognize in yourself. You know what I'm saying? If they love you, they put you in a position that you can be successful at. So their thing was, you know what I'm saying, what my brother Louis seen in me is he understood that these things that they're teaching me about are going to get me in rooms that I shouldn't be in and sit me at tables that I shouldn't be sitting at. And then when God took it a whole step above is not only sitting at the table, you know what I'm saying, but actually sitting at the table and people asking you advice. The cigars did for me. You know what I'm saying? So in doing that, like I said, with the business side of it, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? This is the most civil product that you can sit down, have a conversation about, and execute plans or ideas to flourish. Cigars. You know what I'm saying? The golf course, it's the golf course. Yeah, they're on the golf course, but what they doing? They're smoking cigars.
Yeah.
They ain't getting high off the grass.
Nor are they terrible golf games.
Right,
Yeah.
that part. So when they told me that, you know what I'm saying, I started recognizing being in business since I was a kid, you know what I'm saying, learning how to transact business. And guess what? Now I got a product that evens the playing field for everything. No matter if you're a billionaire, trillionaire, or you're somebody that's working in the gutter, they got a product that we all could talk about and find commonality.
Yeah.
I already knew it was on.
Yeah, and the phenomenon not only of as us gentlemen doing it, females are taking over to a big
70% of my clientele is females.
Wow, that's huge. That is huge.
70% of my clientele
Because
is females.
Females are communicators anyway, you know, and I have an opportunity to go get a wine, to go get a margarita or a drink. But now they're turning to the sticks and the cigars, man, to go have these conversations and an elegant time.
You know why? They want brothers like us.
They want brothers like
high
us.
quality men, and they understand. And guess what? Once they have those in their hand, I got a better chance with them.
They live in confident about themselves.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they bring, and I love it because they bring their best. The women that come and shop, they bring their best, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All because of a stick, and they want to be. They're intrigued to see the brothers that actually bringing these sticks, and it's a beautiful situation, man. Black elite is being established on a level in Vegas that I know ain't being done nowhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, so close to the strip, but it still has the powerful and the executive side of bringing it. Chocolate City is one of the best places you can come and hang out. If you ever get a chance to come to Las Vegas, Nevada, make sure you stop through here. And even if you don't grab a stick, you know, you can come have wonderful drinks that you guys have as well. We talked earlier about the culture, on bringing the culture. It's getting younger. It is getting younger. Is it because not only the financial part of it, but because gentlemen of our age are showing the younger generation on this is really how it's done, and they're seeing that on their phones and the internet.
That's it, man. You are so on it, bro. I mean, I'm loving this conversation. You are right. Everything that we're doing said our life. You know what I'm saying? We're on the second half of our life, but guess what? Everything that we're doing for the ones that's coming up. The crack epidemic, man, which is a 30-year spot in history, or even more. You know what I'm saying? That we dropped the ball on, if I could say it that way. Because
not only did that crack epidemic really put a black cloud, so to speak, or a dark cloud over us. But it really sparked a lot of entrepreneurs, because a lot of my brothers and sisters are coming home from their long stint, in that thing. And one of the questions I always ask them is did you have sold T-shirts? And they go, I didn't, at that time, I didn't think about that, because that was the way that we were living, that foul way of living. But now it's sparking so much, because we see if we own things, if we produce things, we got a better chance of controlling our culture and how we conduct business, like you guys are doing.
Yes. And so we're doing it for these kids, man. And what they're doing is they're telling us how they want to live. We're not doing this for us. We're doing it for them. U.D.A. again, we had a conversation earlier, because we're talking about the future and the digital side of it. We didn't have nothing to aspire to. Like coming up, when we came up, we didn't have nothing. We didn't know getting old was cool, sad. Yeah. We didn't know that wasn't in the economy of the crack epidemic that we were in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But we understood that ones that made it out, and we got to this age, like, man, we put our life on the line because we could have missed this. Yeah. So now, going back to find those kids, now I'm not doing it for the old heads. Yeah. Now everything we doing, man, we the cool uncles. We the ones that you want to aspire to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, we ain't trying to be little baby. We ain't trying to be the baby. We trying to be the uncles. We trying to be the leaders. Guess what? Now, there's always somebody that got to fund whatever you want to do. Yeah, you got the talent, but guess what? Who gonna fund it? That's what we're doing.
The robbery of the culture.
Yeah.
Let's tap on that, because we've been robbed of our culture so long. And there continues to do it, but the fact that we're taking ownership of it and really portraying not only entertainment side, cigar side, as well as the landscape, the properties, the businesses, the products, style. How much further can we go, or do we need to go?
Great question. And I'm gonna answer it like this: have the universe stopped expanding?
No.
That's what's gonna happen with melanin.
Yeah.
As long as melanin around, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna keep expanding. Yeah, no, it's gonna keep growing. And great point to get back to where we at right now, because what we're really trying to extirpate right now, you know what I'm saying, with our culture and with the unorganized that I was talking about is, you know what I'm saying, it's fear. You know what I'm saying? Our first mission is to get rid of fear. Because fear is false evidence that appears as reality. And the system that we came up in, I'm not faulting nobody. Because he who wins the war make the laws. We're the economical law. We're an economical war. It ain't personal. But guess what? The playing field has been even. 444. I talk about this because when Jay-Z came out with that album 444, it has nothing to do with Jay-Z album, but 444, that title it's in my brain. What does this mean? We talk about 444. We're going through all the album trying to see if he leave you clues and things like that. And then just being on a mission, God showed me what the 444 was as far as our whole class of ethnicity. We got 3 significant fours that our ancestors made it through, you know what I'm saying? And we stamped, and now we're in a different playing field. The first 4, you know what I'm saying, is, let's just talk about this room. 400 years of slavery.
Yes.
We know that slavery been going on for decades. It ain't just starting in the United States. We got quotes in the Bible show you slavery been going on, indentured servitude, for decades, you know what I'm saying? But for some reason, you know what I'm saying, our ethnicity in this economy, in this world, you know what I'm saying, we got stuck on the number 400, which is cool, because there was a reason. So we talk about the number 400. I'm gonna go back. Then we have the 4th Industrial Revolution. We're in the 4th Industrial Revolution right now. Yes. We went through 3 of them. Revolution, what is a revolution? A sudden change in movement of the people.
Yes.
That's what a revolution is. And what you do is you put industrial in front of it, you know what I'm saying? Now you got business. Sudden change in the people, you know what I'm saying? So we got a revolution. So you got the 4th Industrial Revolution. And the last 4, I like to say, which is the dominant 4 over all of them, you have a cycle that the global uses for its economy. They call it the 4th turning. All those 4s at the time that we're in right now, the ancestors are cheering because the window is open, because all those 4s are lined up right now. 400 years of slavery, how's that over? Even if you wanted to talk about law, slavery, nobody went over and stole anybody. Yeah. It was business.
It was business.
We got sold as cheap labor. And Ghana, they apologized for that a couple of years ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not to get off the point, but the thing about it, where's the 400 from? Because it was a 400-year lease. Slavery didn't end back in 1865. It got amended. The law was still in place, but you can amend laws.
Yeah, you can amend laws.
No, you ain't free. So therefore, but at the end of 2018, you know what I'm saying, a bill was signed, H.R. 1242, and the title was the 400-year commemoration of slavery.
Wow.
Meaning, guess what? They signed slavery out. It's over. As far as the legislative wise.
Yeah.
You still got your system though. So you got that 400. We got the fourth industrial revolution. The first, every time you talk about revolutions, you know what I'm saying, it's a sudden change in people, but people change. Why? Because the business changed. And every time there's an industrial revolution, it's always for the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? How can I get the same production or more, spend less, and I make more?
Yeah.
So the first industrial revolution, what that was coal and steam. You know what I'm saying? Cotton gin. You know what I'm saying? Things like that came out. You know what I'm saying? Why you talk about? Because we talk about slavery.
Yeah,
Guess
rice,
what?
rice.
Yeah, and things like that.
Rice,
so
yeah.
what it did was not only made it easier for the laborer, but they got more work out of it. You know what I'm saying? So that was the industrial revolution, and the way they was able to do those things because they came up with these products, coal and steam, to make these machines to make the labor easier and to make more.
Yeah.
The second industrial revolution came off of that one. That one was with petroleum and oil, petroleum and gas. Who came out of that? The Fords, the Rockefellers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But guess what it did? It made business easier and made their bottom line greater. Third revolution, the one that we in right now, what they call that one? The computer age.
Yeah.
The greatest invention that came on earth to this day. Why? Because it was able to disseminate information at record speeds. Because it ain't about the money, it's about information. Who can get the information the fastest? Now we're in the fourth industrial revolution. What came from that? It evolved because since we got the computer, you know what I'm saying, all that came up. So now we got information. So now that's what you see. Every business is about data. Data is the new oil. That's the fourth industrial revolution.
Right, and we have to, you talked about it before, the fear. Let me explain the fear he's talking about. That comfort zone that I'm fine with getting a check from somebody else. I'm fine with letting somebody else do the hard work and I just do the small work and then I come on. This is an opportunity for us to blossom and kill that fear in a great way. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back, but don't go nowhere because he's spitting knowledge right now. And it's all coming because of these cigars.
That part.
Fear.
Yes, sir. False evidence appearing as reality.
Yes, indeed. It can fuel you or it can crumble you. What fear is our culture going through right now that's stopping them from getting out there doing it themselves?
Believing the lie.
Believing the lie.
Because even the lie that's being, go back to our culture, with hip hop, we took hip hop, it's easier to not critically think.
Yeah.
That's what that 20 years of, oh, do what you want, it took away what our forefathers gave us, the ability to critically think. You know what I'm saying? To keep going, to keep moving. I tell folks all the time, most journeys start because you're lying to somebody else.
Yeah.
Most journeys stop because you're lying to yourself.
Because you're lying to yourself. Yeah, I was about to say.
You know what I'm saying? So fear is nothing but a lie that our magnificent minds just continue to develop, you know what I'm saying? And we make it into a reality. You know what I'm saying? We bring something that's not true, you know what I'm saying, off of past experience that we thought was something that really wasn't that, you know what I'm saying? And we put it in our mind and we come up with a whole freaking plan, not only just to live that situation, but how to live our lives. And we get comfortable with living lives.
Yeah, and don't mix being scared with fear
at all.
Because even when I played ball, I threw up before every game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I was scared to play. It was the fear of what I may be doing, maybe extending my career or maybe blending it down a little bit. So this is an opportunity, not only with social media, for us to tap into a lot of things. And you do it a lot too with this D, with the D. Break that down for me, man. Give me a little bit of that dean, man.
Oh, man, that's who you've been talking to, man. You've been talking to the dean of positivity.
The dean of positivity.
The dean of opportunity. The dean to get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? But most often, the dean of the Black agenda.
The Black agenda.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters together trying to make a positive move in a great way.
Now, I gotta tell you, man, about the Black agenda lineup, like I said, as far as even my role, because I like the role of being a teacher because I like to listen, you know what I'm saying, and also like to execute, you know what I'm saying. So it's great, you know what I'm saying, that people come to me as a teacher, but it's my team, man, headed off by Dr. E. Lance McCarthy, global economist, you know what I'm saying, well-known, renowned all throughout the world, Davos speaker, TEDx speaker. The man knows anybody and everybody. He walks in the room and the room separates, you know what I'm saying? It's just black elite at its finest. And for somebody like that to look at two younger gentlemen, you know what I'm saying, that's under him, and he's showing us, you know what I'm saying, man, everything that y'all was doing was for this time. You know what I'm saying? So Johnny Yancey who's also the founder of Chocolate City. He's also the president of the Black Agenda. Man, this is a God mission first, but the thing about it is you got to recognize that you are responsible for putting your orbit together. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. We just have all the planets, all the universe, but guess what? Every planet that you put in line to make your universe, you're responsible for.
True.
And you don't have to rush. You know what I'm saying? That's what lies does. Lies create FOMO, fear of missing out. What you gonna miss out on something that, guess what, you don't even know if it exists yet. Yeah. So if we cast out the lies, man, I guarantee you 99% of fear could be overcame.
That's huge right there.
Yeah.
That's huge right there. A lot of stuff when you talk about your New Orleans background, blossomed out of that. And one of the things is music. It's music. I mean, the music coming out of there is just unbelievable.
I came up with so many Grammy Award winning writers. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is they weren't stars to us, you know what I'm saying? Because in New Orleans, the culture is so thick, anything that we want to do, and that's what I'm saying, they took away things to do. Anything we wanted to do, especially express our mind, it's an artsy place. You know what I'm saying? You want to tell poems, you want to play an instrument, you want to do anything. It's an art community. You know what I'm saying? So as far as good music, man, every block I used to hear good music. You know what I'm saying? We go in somebody's backyard and a band being assembled. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This was common. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? These were kids, and what they were doing, they were learning their craft to go make money, because guess what they do? After that, they go to the French quarters, put the bucket down, make money, create a second line, walk miles, get people. So it was still economic base. It wasn't just having a good time. We were monetizing our culture.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, that's huge. And the big controversy now, obviously, with Kendrick Lamar getting the opportunity.
We love Kendrick.
We do. We love.
Don't believe that lie.
To the lie.
Yeah.
To the fullest.
Yeah.
And I think, personally, this is what he should do. During that performance, he bring a little the 999 in, right. My man Master P. He bring a little Big Frida in. He bring that second line in.
Right.
He bring them hot boys out there, even though they thought him and Lil Wayne got this beef because Wayne didn't get it. And he bring them all the way through, and he bring everybody understanding. He let the world know how much musical culture New Orleans had that they did not recognize or didn't know about before. Right. I mean, I think it's going to be a phenomenal performance, because I love me some Kendrick, and I know you do too.
Man, I love K-Dot. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I got to California in 2011, I was actually sending stuff back to New Orleans like, man, y'all got to check this little cat out.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, Wayne has been celebrated for the last 30 years.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? The Super Bowl ain't no thing to be like, oh man, it should be. Man, do you understand that Wayne ran the culture for the last 30? The whole hip hop culture is mimic Wayne. So I look at the hip hop culture, even you talk about the devaluation of it. Really, that was the wrath of New Orleans. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because Wayne was the godfather of all that.
Yeah. And not only Wayne, but people really don't give Master P his credit. They want to try to give it to Short, but they don't understand Short sold out the trunk when he saw Master P selling out the trunk when Master P went to.
New Orleans changed the game. The oldest black community in the United States. Do you know it's New Orleans?
Oh,
so any black that's walking around the United States, you came through New Orleans some kind of way.
Some kind of way.
So now we always been getting our props, you know what I'm saying? We just like to sit back, wait and get it all. So when we do get it, you can't take it away from us, kind of like hip hop. So the same thing I said, no, P is never forgotten. We love P. But this the thing about it. K-Dot is an angel, man. He's a different type of artist. You know what I'm saying? He's a godsend. And we have more godsend. That culture that he's spitting, it taps into New Orleans. Folks don't know. He did stuff with artists like Currency,
yeah.
D1. And these are the guys that's been around that New Orleans been riding with for the longest that the world don't celebrate, but we ride behind these cats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So guess what? If he don't bring out Wayne, man, you think if High Spitter don't come on that stage, New Orleans ain't gonna go crazy?
Yeah, man.
You think if D1 don't come on that stage, New Orleans ain't gonna go crazy?
And obviously, I feel he might close it out with They Not Like Us.
Yeah.
I think this is just me, K-Dot. Now, if you listening, pay attention. You should bring the great band Maze out. I know Frankie Beverly was a legend. Obviously, Oakland, California is where they started at. But they are recognized and known.
They're ambassadors of New Orleans.
You know what I'm saying?
You see what we did for Frankie Funeral?
Oh my God!
Did you see that?
It's crazy, man. And that's how he should have went out. That's how he should have went out.
That's how he went out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, Frankie was New Orleans. We took Frankie. And Frankie knew that New Orleans was his.
And he tried to
New Orleans.
retire a long time ago, but the people, the culture, the love would not let him.
Bro, Frankie performed every year in New Orleans.
Wow.
Either at the Essence Fest, the Zulu Ball, or something. There's not a year that Frankie was living that Frankie didn't perform in New Orleans at least 3 to 4 times a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, their live album, Live at the Singer.
Yes.
That was in New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah. I mean, it was so powerful that people really, bring him to that culture. They think that that's where he was born and raised. But I think the real love is for him. If you haven't never had an opportunity to see him, I don't know if the Maze is going to still keep performing without him.
Yeah, they're going to keep performing.
Okay,
Matter of fact, the bass player is a member here.
Now, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why. Not only inside, but if you had an opportunity to listen to this band outside, because the sound outside is a lot different from inside. You banging off a lot of stuff. People don't understand that. When your body refines sound, knowing that it's only going to hear it once, it is so unbelievable, man. Unbelievable how that music and his culture had just blossomed.
And that's a power of being, what you just expressed is a power, a super attribute of being black.
Wow.
Because what you just said, it was just off your tongue, and I tell that you was experiencing it, you know what I'm saying? Most people can't experience that, man. That's our culture. That's how we talk and communicate with one another. Not through verbiage, we feel one another.
We feel one another.
And if we don't feel you, then we don't rock with you.
We talked earlier about having the conversations.
We don't rock with you.
The conversations without even saying one word. It's just unbelievable on how our culture can do that. I don't know if any other culture has done that, because I haven't been a part of any other culture, to be honest with you. And I love it, and I really love to experience it. Each and every time that I go out, even when I go DJ at cigar bars, it's a feel that I have, and I look around, and it's my job to try to work that ear palate. Work that ear palate where you not only enjoying your stick or enjoying your drink or the company or conversation that you're having, but that ear is back in mind, and it's going through some real good things. Man, I sure appreciate your time, man.
Like Kendrick said, it's gonna kill my vibe.
Not at all. Not at all. So if you get an opportunity, man, this is a place that you need to come visit. Not only for the wonderful sticks as the team had put through, and also the beverages and stuff that they have, the culture, the mentality, the friendship, and also you might even win a business partner or two right here in Chocolate City. Don't miss out on what they're doing here.
Yes, sir.
He's got a California experience. He's got a New Orleans experience. He's even throwing Alabama in there. Thank you so much.
Man,
I appreciate you, man.
I'm honored, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
Because, you know what? Since you asked me a question, I got a question I need to ask you, you know what I'm saying? A family member always had a question that they wanted to ask you, and I've been put in a position to ask you the question. When you won the slam dunk contest, and you had the blindfold over your eyes,
Yes, sir.
could you see through the blindfold, or did you actually peek underneath? I'm just asking. Yeah.
I gotta say, man, seeing is believing. Seeing is believing, and I believed in myself at that time, and came up with something. Now that the NBA has just really taken off with as far as props and stuff, but no, couldn't see it all. I mean, it's been, documented. The trophy is at mom's house. The blindfold is wrapped around. Anytime you want to come visit East Texas, man, mom's gonna have you. The food might not be good as New Orleans, but it's gonna be all right. You can come check it out yourself. All right,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate you, man. Handle your business. Never let your business handle you. We'll see you next time on the Humidor.
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars from the corner store like to welcome you to the Humidor.
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars from the corner store like to welcome you to the Humidor, right?
Who want the smoke?
We don't smoke cigars from the corner store like to welcome you to the Humidor.